Good morning. We're going to do some artwork here. Give me a second here to get my signal up and running. Make sure that I'm coming through okay. Going to do the starty bits, and then we'll get to work here. So, let's see. It sounds like so signals louder than it needs to be. Okay, great. Let's drop that down. I'm going to grab this here real quick. We're going to do some quick social media posts, and then we'll get to work. So my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online, and we're creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This is Crystals in a Bar. It's an adventure in the Eberron campaign setting for 7th or 8th level characters. Well, there you go. So I've had plenty of intros in the past. I don't feel like really hating on it too much this morning. I just want to get to work. So let's click that around. If you think today's cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications of when we're live in the future. All 439 episodes can be seen in this playlist here. Here's a bunch of books that I've created on the DMsGuild already. You can check them out. They all have free previews. And this one will be no different. So, book cover, made this around episode 40. You can jump into the Wayback Machine and check that out. But we are currently making, we're coloring artifacts, different magic items that can be used to create manifest zones to different planes, depending on which plane of origin the artifact is aligned with. And currently we are working on the Flute of Sarania, the Azure Sky. So let's drop down here into our flute space. Bloop, bloop, there. And let's go fetch. We're using an ocarine as our color sample. I'm just gonna grab. Let's grab that. Let's see. Let's go like. There's our line art. Let's do that. Just doing some light patterning here. I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to keep or not. But I am trying to approach the idea of some sort of woodly pattern. So I don't know if this is the right way to go about it or not, but I figure at worst we can use this as a light texture. So we have this layer on here already as this creamish color, and so we're erasing from it, revealing the color underneath it. That's how we're going about this method here. I don't know if this is the right way to do that or not. Let's go that out of the way. It came from that. Yeah, it'll be okay. Is this really the greatest solution? Let's drop that off. Yeah, let's drop that off screen for the time being, and let's go mess around. Let's go mess around with this. Let's approach this like from just a different direction, like this. We'll try it. Yeah, we'll try it like this. You know what? This is texturing that I'm doing. I'm not even sure if this is where we're supposed to be right now. I'm going to switch gears on this altogether, and instead of working on, because I just immediately went to texturing, and that's technically not where we're at right now. We're doing highlights in form shadow. I kind of lost my own plot there, which might be why I'm getting confused, or dissatisfied with the ideas. So right now, all I really need to do is work on the lighting using the base colors that we've already chosen. So this seems more appropriate. So we're working on highlighting it. Our light source in this direction is what we've chosen, which is good because the other light sources we've chosen so far are towards the middle of the page, well, which is generally what we're trying to do, but I wanted to have an alternate lighting for this one. Don't know why. Maybe it's just a base color layer that we're generating. Hard to say. I'm going to start, so I'm just putting in the line work and I'm smudging it in for the highlighting here. See that, how it's blending in? Yes, I got all the snakes. Excuse me. And then here. Hey Domo, how you doing? I am doing really well, thank you. Let's bring that in a little bit. Yeah, so far so good. Another day of adventure. Kind of feel a little low key today. There's nothing wrong with that. We're going to be choosing a new adventure today in the Eberron Spelljammer Bastion campaign that I've been running. The team went through updates, the guild update with the resources that they gained, and hold on, actually, you know what? I'm going to take a quick tangent here because I need to look at it. Updates, level 3 events, LTA guild activities. Let's see. There's only one. They only created one complication in orbit. A, B, C, D. These are all different zones of orbit that they control. Here's the current type of rock that's in each of the zones that they control. The amount of resources each is worth. The amount of rock that's left. If they reduce the amount of volume of the rock to 0, they get a bonus equal to the rank of their mining operation. They're currently second rank with the mining operation. Every time they roll an extract, like the extract result here, that's the percent that they reduce the rock by. Like the silver rock in zone A was 15%. They rolled a 9, so there's only 6% of the rock left, and the A then drifts in orbit to region B. Because they're in orbit around the planet, so the position of each rock shifts. So it wasn't A, it became B. There was only 6% left. They did a search on the area, just that they open up each new bastion turn with their diviners scrying each zone to see if there's trouble. And if they hit the target DC, there's everything looks clear. You can proceed with mining this week. If they fail the die roll, there's some sort of a complication. And in this instance, literally the only complication that was created was of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have 11 zones under their control right now. Each zone is a 10,000 mile region in orbit around Eberron in the asteroid belt. And the only complication that arose was just one section, and so I don't know the nature of the complication. So I was going to roll a quick D4 to see which industry has the problem. This is actually something I was contemplating doing later, but since we're here right now, I may as well just do it. So I just rolled a 1, 2. That's a delving challenge. So there's either monsters inside, ruins discovered, or monsters outside. So let's see. I rolled a 1. There's monsters inside the rock. So if they... What's up? I respect you tracking all that on a notepad instead of a spreadsheet. Help my brain. Right on. It's very... I know this particular campaign is built complicated. Yeah, it's a complicated game, and I made it that way on purpose. I could have made all the rocks just like stationary in orbit, and until you break the rock, it just stays there. But that didn't have the level of tension that I wanted. And and by having the rocks orbit the world, every time they empty out a spot, it gets filled in with another random rock. So it's not all tracked. It's only being tracked while it's in their territory, and when it leaves their territory, it's destroyed. It's assumed that another organization, another guild that controls another portion of space, takes out the asteroid. So you only have it while you have it, and when it's out of your region, it's pretty much expected to be gone forever. So there creates a level of tension of, if there's something you're interested in here, do something with it now, or you're going to lose it forever. And that creates that in a turn-based game where everything's, the idea is that things come back around again in orbit. How do you create a sense of tension for that? And it's by making the resource, making the opportunities to explore something limited with a potential loss. So Anyway, they got one thing going on. The big challenge that they were facing in the last turn, the last Bastion turn that we had. The major complication was the elves of Arenal were getting angry at the characters because they've been looking for somebody that's gone missing, and the team found their body dead, and they chose not to say anything about it because there was stuff that they wanted, and they want to necessarily reveal that they were looting the body of this elf, without having to say, hey, we found your elf. We looted them, but here you can have what's left over. Like that, they knew that wasn't going to go over well, so they didn't do that. So they just didn't, when the elves asked them, "Hey, we're looking for this dude. Have you seen him?" And they're like, "Nope." But now the body's been found, and the evidence is in their forensics are indicating that that this dude would have been dead while he was on an asteroid in territory for the characters. And they're like, what's going on with that? And so far the characters have feigned ignorance and have not been held accountable for that, or haven't had to answer for it. And they don't technically have to answer for it at all if they don't want to. But it is damaging their relationship with the elven elven nation that is also in orbit mining rocks with them, and they've had minor military conflicts with elves already. And then on the other side of their territories is Droam, and they're actively picking a fight with Droam. So they're punching a pretty high. I mean, these are well organized nation states with a lot of resources, and the team is just a guild. So it's at some point, if the team gets too sassy with either one of these organizations, their sponsoring government's going to come around and it's just going to put the blat to the team, and it'll be interesting to see if that happens. But it hasn't happened yet. So far, they've been able to outmaneuver and dodge out of being held accountable for anything, or being directly blamed for anything. So so far for them, so far so good. We'll see how it shakes out for them. Workplace mishap. Yeah, I know, right? That's one of the potential problems that can happen with this asteroid mining. Is that a mishap occurs, and now they have labor issues that they have to deal with. It's like union busting work sometimes. Like, you guys got to get back to work. Well, we're concerned about our work conditions. Well, work conditions are never going to get better because we're fighting monsters. So we're going to send in some monster killers, and if we kill the monsters, you got to get back to work, and that's kind of the deal. So if there's monsters, the team, the mining operation shuts down until the team can find a way to either resolve it or let the asteroid float out of their zone, and they basically just lose out that turn from gaining any bastion points. You spend bastion points each turn with this system. The system that we've been developing for 5e. Is that you rarely, if ever, permanently spend a bastion point. Once you have a bastion point, you pretty much invest it into a facility and it stays put. And unless it gets attacked by like a rival guild, by a rival bastion or settlements, you generally won't lose your points. But with this version that we've been running, you do lose your points. You could very easily, every turn you're losing points. Every time you take characters on an adventure, if you kit them out with magic gear or like healing potions or extra spell scrolls or whatever, those resources are permanently destroying the resources of the guild. And then they go out next session and they get more resources from the asteroids. So, and they also have to use these resources from the asteroids to upgrade their mining equipment so they can have a higher proficiency bonus and all the things. But they're constantly whittling down and rebuilding their resources with this system. And it's for the 5e book that we're building, that doesn't quite jive like resource management like that, permanently burning resources and then gaining another pocket of them. That's not a very 5e game mechanic. 5e is more about accumulating a resource and then having a cycle, like a turn, short rest, long rest, whatever, to then regain those resources, like to refresh your pool. So we're building the 5e version of the game as a regained pooled resource. But in our campaign currently, it's you spend the point, it's permanently gone. You need to go find another source. You need to find another means of accumulating resources to continue. But the asteroid belt provides those resources every turn. It's just a matter of how well do you mine them, and then it destroys the rock. So part of the theme is that you're breaking these rocks down so that they're destroyed, so they don't have the potential of falling out of orbit and destroying a city. It's like the theme that's like the underlying, the need behind the need of like why people are doing this. But so if they neglect a task, or if they don't find a way to resolve an issue involving a particular zone that they control, they're just losing out on these instant, like these flash sales on resources that they can gain. So it's a different job. It's a different sort of vibe, but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And it's gonna be. I'm gonna enjoy building that into its own role playing game. So I need to do some. Yeah, I like that. That's looking pretty good. Create a slickness to it. Oiled. It's a decent start. What's up? Hey Fox, how you doing, my guy? So if Joanne pushes back on the party, could that be via something like the espionage element of the Bastion stuff? Yeah, they could. Yes, sabotage is an active threat. If they've sensed that there's sabotage occurring, they've been using counter espionage teams to try to prevent them from taking any losses, like protecting their territories. They've got fighter craft that they can defend their territories militarily, and they have a diplomacy team that they can send out to, like, quote unquote, negotiate with rival guilds and nations. And then they have basically a covert operations team that can either gather information, sabotage, or counter sabotage activities between guilds. So I kind of like how that sits. I'm probably when we merge the line art with the color, we'll probably replace all these little finger notes, whatever you call those things, keys. So I think I'm okay with that one for now. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I'm not supposed to finish. I mean, it's not finished. I did some work on the banner last night. This was just, I couldn't resist it. I have the bandwidth now to do artwork at night, so I went ahead and pushed this one on pretty far along the process. But I'm pretty happy with it. So let's. I'm just gonna stitch these up for now. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got these 4 done. 4 out of 12 done. With this phase anyway. This is just the initial color sweep. We'll blend in the line art. We'll connect the line art to the color art next, and then sculpt out and clean up so that the line art merges into, and then we can do like more like tentacle like texturing here, right? So anyway, that's where those are at. So there's that. This is where we're at now. Ooh, we're on to the ice block. So let's see how this shit shakes out. Let's grab a darker bit. This is a good dark bit. I like how the lighting works on this stuff. It's so cool. So that's our bright. That's our dark. Let's see if we. Boy, how do I do this? First, I just want to make sure this is filled. I'm kind of approaching this from the angle of the light is like behind it somewhere shining through, but I don't want to define the light source. But this is kind of what's happening here with the light down here shining. No, we can figure that out. So we'll keep the light source from, generally the light source has been here, shining outward from there. And we kind of had that going on with this here, and a little bit, this is more a little overhead. But this is very much like from this direction. This is from this direction. This is more like this direction. This is more like this direction. So I want this to be like that too. I'm gonna erase all those arrows. There. So just blocking, I'm blocking this in, quote unquote, with flat color just to, and it's not, I did a sloppy job with it last time, so I'm just filling in the gaps here. What I'm really doing though, while I'm doing this, is I'm emotionally preparing myself to fail at this block art, at this rendering of ice and light filtering through it. So I'm kind of looking at the shapes and the edges and trying to think about how is that light going to move through. And so me sitting here and mincing on these frayed edges is a way for me to familiarize myself with the shape briefly while I prepare myself emotionally for however this ends up shaking itself out. There. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with the highlight. Yeah, I just did this, Kearney. How about like this? I'm going to start with a core. I figured the denser, the deeper the section of ice, the more likely it is to be dark and shadowy. So I think the first way to do this is like to build this cloudy denseness inside of there. And then I've got this light along through here hitting the edge here. So that's where that highlight came from. So I'm going to blur and blend this in. I don't want to do it like that. Let's let's go with this core, drop this in here like that. And then bring this across like that. So like this is an idea. Sink it in. Probably end up layering over all of this anyway. Yeah, different layers feels like it would make sense. So I'm just going to do some highlights like this along the borders. We might see a little bit more highlights like that. Bring this darkness in here. It'll dense up like this. This one's a fun challenge. Foxy, we talk about drafting and like rendering three-dimensional objects from two-dimensional schematics. This has that same sort of feeling to it, where I'm considering like the density, like how much material is between here and the far side, right? Anyway, it's a neat idea. Let's take along like that. And I think I want to fade it. And then I can add another layer on top of it. So we're going to work through density, or multiple. We're going to do multiple layers of density to see if we can have things overlap and end up creating a cool effect in the process. Well, I recently learned that Deathhaven has 2 manifest zones, Delure and Furnia. So it's got Spirits of Ash everywhere, and it's anti-necromancy. Super interesting. Oh, that isn't what? I only recently learned that Deathhaven has 2 manifest zones, Delure and Furnia. So it's got Spirits and Ash everywhere. That's interesting. Yeah, that is really interesting. I haven't considered like mixing different manifest zone regions together to create interesting environments and terrain, or even like what that society would like the culture of communities that would grow up around that. Interesting ideas being like plain touched that way. I don't know much about Damphaven, honestly. I'm not familiar with it off the cuff at all. So I'm just going to work this this horn, and then I'm going to work the overall structure separately. So I'm putting in the dark core here, and then I think call this horn. Microphone's acting a little goofy. There, that should be better. One, two, and yeah. Okay, I'm back on track. I know what I'm doing again. Here, let's just block this in. Yeah, this is the way. Ooh, I like that. And when I bind the line art into this, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think this is going to work out. No, not like that. Let's do like this. I have to be careful about these edges because I need the line art to still define the shape of the anvil. But the hard black edge as an outline is kind of like there's a little faded line here. Yeah, I have to be careful about that because the black lines currently are helping the eye define the shape of the object, but I have to get to depict to properly render the material. I have to get rid of the black line art, so that's going to be a little bit of a trick for me to figure that out. We'll figure. I mean, we will, but. There. The pavement is in north. Okay, got it, Thrain. It's just a bit west from Thornhold, at the top of the moorland. Thrain, you mean east? No, wait. Yeah. At the top of the moorland, I only learned because my party is heading there to take down a corrupted charity business. Nice. I'm gonna skip forward and put another 20 minutes on the block. What time is it anyway? 7 o'clock? Holy shit, it's only 7. Well, we're making really good timing today. There, and then I need to have. Let's grab that. Yeah, let's do that. And I'm going to switch away from the horn to the main frame here. Yeah, let's add in core dark here for now, and we'll work this into the piece. Two, 3, 4. Good. Let's go with body. That's a start. Let's do like that. Yeah, that's a good start. Blend that in there. Luckily, it's not actually transparent. I don't actually have to depict anything specific behind it. That distortion might, it wouldn't be clear, but it would certainly complicate things. So I'm happy I don't have that as isolated into itself. So that makes doing all these lighting effects a lot easier to render. And we'll do the base last. Render that like that. There, not so bad. Let's drop this in here. Using a lot of pronouns today. It's a very pronoun-y sort of day. I'm recognizing that. If I drop the line color down, it's not looking too bad. There's a lot of darkness in there, so I think I need to lighten that up. But when I put a sheen across the top of it all, I think that'll help. I think that'll help base it out. So this is, yeah, I think this is gonna do okay. Here and here, there. I feel like, yeah, this is where we're at. Let's drop in another layer like this to darken this up. And to conceal the far side of it. Go. And then another layer go over it. I think this might be the spot for that. The team, the team of all the things that the team could do, they love delving the most. They like going in asteroids. They like fighting monsters and fucking around with stuff. And so the only challenge, the only complication that they have arising this week is another bug hunt. And if history, if they don't have a specific agenda, they will more than happily delve into that rock. If they decide that they want to be proactive and like spy on Droam, or start figuring out like what do the elves know and what don't they know, like are they at risk of anything, like they may decide to make an espionage or diplomacy challenge out of finding out that information. And if they do, great. That's I'm fine with that. The delving is there as basically for lack of anything better. And if they want to do any kind of that information gathering stuff, again, they can just turn that into a Bastion task that they have their spy network try to find the answer to, and it'll just be a simple ability check based on the Bastion's level of ability and whatever diplomacy or espionage or whatever it is they decide to pursue. But they'll issue, if they don't do it themselves, they'll issue the order for, oops, I'm off screen, for their guild to do it, and then it'll come back with answers for them in the following. And then they go do their delve, and they mess around inside of a rock and fight monsters and stuff. And when they come out the back end of it, they'll have the answers to the questions. I want to, I think, put a glob there. Here, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they've been picking fights with, and a lot of proactive stuff that they could be doing. It's just a matter of this will actually be a really good test to see if they take the initiative in doing anything in particular, or if they're going to stay more passive and just take the adventure that I hand to them. Here's another delving challenge. You like delving challenges, right? And so if they decide to just passively go along, then great, they're going to enjoy the delve challenge. It won't be a problem. But yeah, they may decide, no, we actually have a thing that we want to do. I'm going to take this line art again. I'm going to drop that down. I think that's doing okay. And then I want to add in another layer for the base. Like that. And here is the right way to do this. But whoever decides to show, it's kind of a West March sort of style that we have a pool of 6 potential players. Typically 3 or 4 of them show up every session. So, or every session 3 or 4 will show up, and depending on who it is, I mean, it'll change from week to week depending specifically who it is. But whoever shows up gets to steer the ship. So this is a Bastion turn, which is setting the tempo for the rest of the campaign for the next 6 weeks. it typically takes 4 to 6 hours to complete a single adventure, and we only play for about an hour a week, and then we have mishaps, or not mishaps, but like we have schedule conflicts and stuff like that sometimes like we don't have the capacity that like we won't have 3 people this week maybe, and so we'll have to punt to the following week. So maybe every 4 sessions or so, we have it's too thin for us to maybe 5 episodes. Every 5 episodes is probably more accurate. We have to cancel from people being too overburdened. Too many people skipping lunch is what it is. It's horrible. Let's grab. Is that darker? Not really. I want to get that blue back into this a little bit. Not too much, but I want a little bit. Yeah. Really dark that bit up there. This has a very marker feeling to it. I like Magic Marker as a medium for like design work. Like a lot of the Star Wars art books have all the droids and fighter craft and machinery and structures and stuff rendered in marker, and it always looks really, really good. I really respect that medium. So I'm getting a kind of a marker vibe off of the way that this coloring is working, and I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Flow out like that. I haven't flown on an airplane in a while. For some reason, Multiverse is having me think about flying on airplanes. I guess maybe I'll have travel sometime in my future. I don't like that idea. I don't have any planned vacations anytime soon. So the universe saying, hey, you might be going on an airplane ride sometime soon doesn't bode well. There's not a lot of reasons why you just spontaneously jump on a plane. Most of them are horrible. So hopefully that's just a weird inkling that I'm having. It isn't related to anything specific. I hate unscheduled flights. They're always bad news. Okay, that's like that. That might be too dark. Maybe we'll lighten it up a little bit. And now let's go over it again. Probably be done with this one very, very shortly. Then we'll move on to the next one. Not bad. I'm gonna do just some light rendering here just to create some effects. This is more of the texturing phase of things, but it's where I feel like I'm at. Hey, what's up? I am enjoying all the small pieces. Let's break from the zombie. Yeah, no kidding, right? That was a lot of zombies we were doing. That was a very focused piece with a lot of shit to it. I don't know how many. I don't know how many other pieces we are going to have this level of intensity to them. But boy, this was it was fun to render, but it took a fucking while to make. But yeah, switching it up, switching gears, it's nice. There's a difference between the full rendered scenes and the tokens and the maps and some variety, and it feels good. I agree. I think that smokiness blending is helping with the ice feeling a lot, actually. Hey, timely timer. I think that's okay for now. Taking a last look at it, of course. Yeah, this will make a lot of sense when we blend it all together, I think. Ooh, like that. Some cool rendering stuff happening in here. This is a lot of, God, this is a lot of fun. This is cool material. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave that be like that. I think it's okay. It's a good place to start. And we'll blend in the line art together, and then we'll be able to wait for it. Sorry, I got distracted by potential. All right, I think that's, yeah, that's pretty good. The whole thing. Let's save for now. All right, let's move on to the next bit. I'm pretty happy with that. It's a good start. Almonds. Let's grab some dark over here. How are you on time? 32 minutes? Okay. We got another 20 minutes to go. We'll be good for the day. Real easy rendering here. Just some form shadow, some highlights, and we'll move on to the next piece. Not very difficult. I'm going to switch brushes though. Feels pretty good. Add another layer, and let's do some highlights. Like that. I think I want to drop the shadow on this a little bit. There. I'm going to darken all this, and I'm going to go back through. I'm going to highlight the leaves with the lighter color that we just found. But I want to darken all of that up first into the seed. This. This. Easy enough. Grab that meaty bit. Let's grab this dark bit. Do some rendering here just to create some form and effects, just to make it a little bit more seed-like, less wooden. Differentiate it. That turned out pretty easy. And then we'll render over with the spots here. Nope. Oh yeah, that's a good color. Like that. Nice. Fun little renderings. This is turning out really nicely. Easy enough. I need some soil though. Where the hell am I gonna find some soil? Right. The no, wrong one. Let's go with the trumpet. We're gonna find some soily sort of stuff here, I think. Maybe not. And that'll do. Let's do that. Grab. Go seed, and then we'll go soil. I think we'd actually should have a bit of a reddish, something like that. Rough texture here on the ground just to break it up a little bit, break up the form. A little bit of spot texture here, little dots, just to rough it up a little bit. And then we'll overlay. We're going to go back to here and grab some very sharp stalky green. It's very, very sharp. It needs to be less sharp. More like that-ish, I think. Let's get this out of the way. Drop back down into here. This. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I don't have any really heavy insights today. Sorry, guys. It's just this seems to be a lower vibe today. More, I guess. Who knows? Who knows what the hell's wrong with me? The proverbial intake of breath before beginning anew, I guess. Not bad. That's the soil. Let's go back here. Oh, yeah, this is going to be fun. All right, this is about as far as we can take that piece before we actually merge the line art down into it so we can start merging the highlights and the shadow together. But I'm not displeased with that result. So I'm going to let that sit. We'll end up blending the soil and stuff in a little bit more. Out a little bit. That was the wrong one. Instead, yeah, this is the one that we're supposed to do, like this. Yeah, so now that just seeps it into the environment a little bit better. Pretty happy with that. See, I am really happy with that. That's cool. All right, and we're at 7:45 right now. We've got what do we do? We knocked down the ocarine, the flute, the seed, the anvil today. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'm going to go ahead and just step off and reclaim some of my time. When we come back tomorrow, we'll work on the cauldron, and then we'll work on the stained glass umbrella, the parasol, and then the lantern and the sextant, and then the carillon and the scales. So maybe we'll get the cauldron, the umbrella, and the sextant resolved tomorrow, and then we'll get the lantern, the carillon, and the scales resolved by Friday. And so when we come back next week on Monday, we can start merging line art into the base colors that we've done so far, and then doing final texture rendering over it. But I think that's a good session for today. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go for now. And yeah, thanks Domo. Thanks for hanging out, my guys. Love the energy. It's just how it's. Thanks Domo. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, this is coming along really, really nicely. I'm really happy with it. Right on, Fox. Domo, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you. Anyone else that thinks this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, bell icons. We're here Monday through Friday in the morning doing artwork. Tuesdays and Fridays, we do game design for 5e. On Mondays and Thursdays, we also do game design. So I'll be back tomorrow morning to continue with this rendering. And then tomorrow night, we'll be back on to further the orders and facilities for the Bastion campaign book that we've been building. And then on Friday, I think we're going to work on the sorcerer subclasses for 5e24. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. Hey, Young. No, my dude. No. Let's see. Let's take that to resolve there. And then I'm going to switch gears here. And then... yeah, I'm sorry, dude. You got to go. Sorry, you gotta go, man. This is too much weirdness. I don't know what you're trying to do. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here. See y'all later.